Happy Tuesday, folks. In this video, I'm going to give you some positive looks at some good news after the debacle that took place in Green Bay a couple days ago, because the Chicago Bears faced the Minnesota Vikings in Chicago last night. I watched the game, and it's good for the fan base. Why is that? Because misery loves company, and we need a rebound. And what I saw last night, we can get that rebound. The Chicago Bears, they started off strong in the first quarter and a half, taking a lead, had a pick six, but then things fell apart. The Vikings came back and beat them. Beat Ben Johnson, the former Lions OC. We'll break it down, but the Lions can exploit some of the miscues right now that's taking place for the Chicago Bears in offense defense. They can take advantage. Why is that? It's a new coaching staff. Players are adjusting to the new scheme. The quarterback's adjusting to everything. And we saw those issues last night. We seen pre-snap penalties, misreads. There were some good moments. I feel like the Bears are taking a step in the right direction for sure. They are, because I did see improvement. But it's the beginning of the year, and there's going to be more issues since it's early on. So I think the Lions can take advantage in this game. How excited are you for NFL Week 2? Scale it. 1 if you're not excited at all. 10 if you're super stoked. Before we keep going on here, I want to talk about some injury news really quick. The Lions placed Jamarco Jones on injured reserve. Got injured. He was our third string backup tackle, wherever you want to put him in Geo. Now he's on IR, but the Lions picked up another player. Jeremy Reisman report from POD. According to his agency, offensive tackle Devin Cochran has signed with the Lions at this point because of the transaction is unofficial. It's unclear if Cochran is signing with the 53-man roster or the practice squad. There's an open spot on the practice squad after the Lions signed running back Jacob Sailors to the active roster on Saturday. But if the Lions were to sign Cochran to the 53-man roster, it would require a corresponding move, as Lions are currently at the maximum. Cochran is a massive human being, stands 6'7", 330 pounds, nearly matching the size of Giovanni Manu, 6'7", 350. He went undrafted in 2022 and spent the next 3 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. His first season was entirely in the practice squad. He lost his 2023 season to a knee injury. He's going to be a backup player for the Detroit Lions. He's only participated in 9 games, preseason and all. Backup tackle, swing tackle with Jamarco Jones going down. They have another guy that can put in there. We also got Dan Skipper, too. That's on the practice squad, so get another big body. I don't know where they're going to use him exactly, just as a backup, where he'll be on the depth chart, but he's a big body that the Lions can use. So let's go ahead and get into why I think that the Lions have a great opportunity on Sunday to get a win. New coaches, the Bears, new coaching staff, they have kinks. Just like us, we have some new coaches, we have some new coordinators. Clearly, we're going through growing pains right now. The same thing is happening with the Chicago Bears, 100%. There were some issues, right? There was some... Ben Johnson's got a great scheme, we know this, but the Bears don't have the same type of players as the Detroit Lions. DeAndre Swift is good, but he's not Jahmyr Gibbs, right? They have some good receivers over there, but it's not the Lions receivers. And I thought the biggest improvement in the offseason for the Chicago Bears was their priority in building the offensive line and a lot of the interior. But if you watch last night's game, the offensive line looked pretty putrid. Honestly, it did not look good for the Bears. Caleb Williams was running for his life. Now, Caleb Williams is a mobile, scrambling quarterback, so he has the ability to get out of the pocket when it's collapsing, but at least we know that the Chicago Bears offensive line right now is not good. So we got players who need to make a splash in this week. Aiden Hutchinson and Davenport. Take advantage of the weak offensive line of the Chicago Bears and get those pressures. And I 100% believe that can happen on Sunday. Also, Caleb Williams, he looks improved, much improved. He's still not seeing the field all the way. Watching the game last night, he did a lot of checkdowns, but if you watch it, there was players open. He wasn't seeing it. So he's still working on going through all of his reads. Again, it's a new system. Probably going to take him a little bit. It's kind of expected for anyone, right? So he's got to still take the time and read the defense to help out the Lions secondary. And it puts a lot of pressure also on the linebackers. And I think the Lions can take advantage. That is something that they could take advantage of. I thought the defense for Detroit played decent. They got to contain Caleb, and we should be able to maybe get a pick or two because there's some passes that were overthrown or not in the right spot. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch could take advantage. Are you ready to face Ben Johnson? Why for yes and for no? I want to tell you what the issues from SB Nation's Chicago Bears Windy City Gridiron says, because they were pessimistic about the game. They didn't like what they saw. They said the run game is a concern, the offensive line blocking more than anything. No running back could make anything happen. Now, Swift was in there doing a lot of screen pass and dump downs, but they were having a hard time running the football. And I tell you what, the Detroit Lions defensive line can stop the run. And if you make this team one-dimensional, we're going to get turnovers. They had a lot of pre-snap penalties, a lot of motion in Ben Johnson's offense. We know this. But they had a lot of those penalties. That should help the Lions out as they work those kinks out. Jonah Jackson, their guard, he didn't look good for the Rams, and he didn't look good for the Bears. And they were really hot that Caleb missed shots downfield, giving them less of the big play. Overall, this is his own words. I was disappointed in Caleb in the offense. He either didn't see when his wide receivers were open, refused to pull the trigger, or missed them. The pre-snap penalties were a killer, and the run game was below average. But if he hits some of those big throws, the game is much different. It's Caleb Williams in this offense. They're going through it right now. And that's a good thing because we need that as we're going through ours. Again, like I stated, misery loves company. And when you start 0-1 and our opponent started 0-1 and they got issues, we as the Detroit Lions, we need to take advantage of those issues. That is what we need to do. And this coaching staff, I do believe, have the ability to do just that. And remember, we know Ben Johnson, right? This is the offense that we ran. Our defense has played against this offense for years and years and years. That's great. That's good news. So we kind of have an understanding of what they're going to do right there. Now he's played against our defense, but our defense is fully not the same. Our offense is not the same. So Lions have an opportunity with the home field advantage, being loud, understanding Ben Johnson should be able to capitalize and get their win and go 1-1. It's a good rebound game, a good game to get the heat off them because the coaching staff is feeling the heat, and same with the players. And we're going to talk about that in here in a second. I do think that's another good thing that the Lions are going to win this game. But are you ready to face Ben Johnson? Why for yes and for no? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Coming back to Ford Field, The players are pissed that we, the fans, the media, are upset that they played like cheeks against the Packers. That's a good thing. I want them pissed off. I want Alex Anzalone pissed off. I want Hutchinson pissed off, Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, Dan Campbell pissed off. We need that energy for this game to get it corrected. We need to have that on Sunday. Take that anger, frustration, take it out on the Chicago Bears and the issues that they're having right now. Caleb Williams, he did decent. Look at his stats versus the Vikings, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 receptions, QBR is 63.8. Also, his completion percentage is 60%. That's not good completion percentage. That'll be much better than what Jordan Love was doing to the Lions defense on Sunday. So they're having their own issues. They're not a fully developed machine in Chicago yet. And the Lions can and should take advantage of it. They should. And it's great news. What I saw last night, it's good news for week 2 at least. I do think that the Bears are going in the right direction. They are. But I think the Lions should be able to take advantage of the issues on Sunday. And if not, we're in a world of hurt at that point, right? If we can't take advantage and we start 0-2. But I think it's good news. I think it's great for the Lions that, the Bears are having issues, and we'll see. With that said, folks, adios.